All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined here by head trainer Sebastiaan Rothmann. Obviously, we just spoke to Jabulani Makhense about his massive fight that he's got against Staniosis. How's your confidence levels going into that fight?
For the first time, it's very, very positive. I've seen the best version of Jabulani I've seen. Disciplined, he really knows what it's about. So I think we're in a good place.
You obviously have a lot of different athletes that have been helping Jabulani prepare for the fights, as well as going out and sparring. Have you sought out the best guys to prepare him for this massive fight?
Yes, and I have to say a big thank you to a lot of the camps outside there. It's something different in South Africa at the moment. I can phone Colin asking for sparring. I can go to Sean Smith. He helps me with tools. And this last bit, we've been doing a lot at the runs. So Damon's helped with Nkosi. So he's also preparing, which has got a very similar style to what we're going to be facing in Lithuania.
And I know that obviously running a boxing gym has its funs and joys, but I think nothing beats big fights in professional boxing, and like this one is a big fight because it opens up many doors for him. How do you feel going into it, traveling into Lithuania and seeing what's to bring there?
Very excited. If I think back in my career, the times we go overseas is stuff you remember the most. Yeah. So a road trip is always great. It also puts a bit of less pressure on the fighter because he goes away from home, so there's no local support. You're the lesser known guy on the other side, which I think is going to help Jabulani.
And of course, Jabulani, he's traveled before with you, you've got to know him, and you know him well. You've been his professional trainer for his entire career. How do you see him in this one?
No, I see him super. I think he's going to enjoy the moment. I think he's matured. I think that's the real word. The discipline came in with the maturity. So I think he knows what he wants in life. And I think because of that, because he's got his goals, he understands what this is about. I think he's embracing them at the moment.
And of course, these type of opportunities don't come a knocking very often. Staniosis, although not currently a world champion, just lost his world title. So the occasion is massive.
Correct. If we want to crack the top 10, if we want to get the big fights, if you look at Tools, is exactly in the same spot as well. So he's also calling out certain guys. So to be able to fight those fights, you do need somebody on your resume. And I think Staniosis is the right name for Jabulani's record.
All right, fantastic. And that's obviously Jabulani Makhense, and that's exciting news for him coming up. We spoke about some of the other fights that you have coming up in the last interview, which it didn't air. If we could just rehash some of those fights and what's coming up with some of the other guys.
Okay, I'm just waiting for Isaac Sashayo, for Talon Baloy, Talon Moyo, and I've got a few new guys coming into the gym, which I don't really want to rouse until we sign the contracts. So that should be coming up soon. I think we'll talk about it end of October. I've been in negotiations with Cohen Ray as well. He wants me maybe to fly over to Australia. I will just see if I do have a gap. If it's going to be December, I don't really know if I'll be able to cut off the family. So they've not had enough time with me this year, so I have to look after that. And then we've been busy with white collar fights. I had a big event with Mac Rapalali and with Mark Fish. Unbelievable night of boxing. We had an undercard with amateurs, and that was a big success as well.
Well, let's talk about celebrity boxing as well. You've got into that space. Of course, you're no stranger to celebrity boxing. You've been training celebrities for a very long time as well. But when you see them in the ring and you see them boxing, what sort of emotion does that invoke in you?
Well, I love it because they're starting to understand what discipline is in the sport and techniques and stuff. It's not just two guys getting in there and hitting each other. And because of that, they're becoming fans of the sport. And that's what we need. We need to, by the time me and you finish in the sport, we want to have the next generation of guys coming through. And I think with celebrity boxing and stuff, it gives people who don't really understand the sport a better view inside, and also makes them fans and starting to respect the fighters.
So, for example, I mean, in that conversation, Mark Fish against Mac, you obviously trained Mac in that instance. For example, does he take an interest in the sports, and does he want to come and watch the other professional athletes?
Correct. He even likes when Jabulani, them trying to catch it with his eye. He wants to see what they do, how they are preparing and stuff. Becomes a fan of them. And I think, and that's a big up for us. I mean, if you look at Colin when he started as a presenter on TV, that also made him get people following him and then following his fighters. Yeah. That's what we want. We want to get new interest into our sport.
And do you foresee, I mean, especially with a lot of the new signings that you're going to be making, it sounds like you're expanding your stable. Do you foresee that sort of thing happening for you, where you create more exposure for them and we get to see those boxers more often?
Correct, and I think this is where guys like you come into play. If the boxers can start selling themselves, I love it when I saw Kevin Lerino sewing back to the boxers where he does a bit of influencing and showing the guys how to talk about social media. That's so much important. It's very important in our sport. The guys be able to sell themselves. You can't just be the best boxer. You need to sell tickets.
And in terms of your current stable, obviously, let's go back to Talent Baloy really quickly. Obviously, you've been trying to get him that SA title shot for a while. Is that the one we're looking at, or is it something before the SA title?
I think it might be one before, because the champion is already signed, I think, to fight an ABU title.
Okay.
So I need to keep Talent busy. So there might be, I think Isaac is busy negotiating something. He wants to let Talent fight in front of his own people, maybe in Malamulele, and I think that should be end of October, and hopefully for a title.
All right, so that'll be massive for him as well. I think his confidence levels as well. Obviously, he's been a phenomenal puncher, but we haven't seen it yet in the ring. We've seen it in sparring. We've seen it all over. Does it happen in this next fight?
I truly believe so. If you look at the last fight, just how he upped it and he won all the rounds, which is already a step above what he did before. I think it's just if we can get him that little bit more discipline and pulling his punches over, putting more weight behind it, I think we're going to have some super stoppages.
Jabulani mentioned this is his best camp that he's felt he's had in his career. If all the boxers had a camp like he's had, do you expect really phenomenal results?
Of course. The harder the camp is, the better you prepare, the better results. I mean, Crawford talked about it this morning. He said the camp was unbelievable, and that helps you prepare. So, and there's also a camaraderie between the fighters, and they push each other. I mean, Jabu is the superstar in the gym, but when we go to go running, he's not necessarily the first guy to get there. So everybody has to push their own egos to try and push each other, and that's what you want in a camp. So if the preparation is better, the performance is better, everything goes better.
And do you see him on the international stage?
Talent Baloy, for sure.
And Jabulani?
Yeah, of course.
Although he is fighting on now.
This is the biggest fight of his career, and I do think he's embraced it the right way. And I think from here it's just going bigger and bigger.
All right, what's your prediction for that fight?
The W. I don't care what we get, just the W. If Jabulani is the best that he can be, I don't believe there's anybody in the world he can't beat.
And home pressure, does that play into this at all?
There's no home pressure because we're fighting overseas. For the opponent, yes, but not for us.
Okay. And for away pressure, let's put it that way?
No, because you embrace danger. The sport is dangerous, so you understand what you're dealing with. But the ring is a ring. The people around you can't help the opponent. So it's only two guys in there, and it's the guy who wants it the most.
All right, and that's obviously the 27th of September for the ones that are watching this interview as well. Yeah. Very soon, you're wrapping up and you're going to be on your way. Obviously, hoping to come back with a win by any means, as you said. Do you have any last messages for people that want to maybe watch this fight? Or?
Yes, we will put it on the link. I'm just waiting for the link from overseas. And I need to say a big shout out to BSA for helping us getting clearance for this fight. Clocks, again, my brother, I'm a little bit slow with some of the stuff, but he always helps me and guides me and corrects me. And he does it in such a way that I never feel bad about it. So everybody at BSA, I want big thanks for them. Also to Clocks, when the guys fight overseas, like when Kafu fought overseas and stuff, he always shares it with all the managers in the country. So I just want to say he's definitely the guy who helps us get better every year with the boxing. All the stables get better, they get more professional, and it's because of people like him.
And then also lastly, Seb, is there anything you wanted to add about Jabulani Makhense?
Yes, I want to thank everybody who was involved with Jabulani, from sponsors, Golden Gloves where he turned professional, Uncle Jeff and Rodney who helped him then, and then my lost friend, Andre Tyser, who always helped us. When we left Golden Gloves, he supported us into fights. And then ESPN Africa for the rest of the journey that way. So everybody who's been involved with Jabulani's career, I just want to thank them all.
All right, well, so one more question I wanted to ask you is who's the team that's going to be going with for Jabu?
Myself and Vincent Halliday, so it's just three of us going this time.
Familiar faces in the corner there from Team Rothmann. Of course, I wanted to wish you guys all the best for the fight. Do you want to send any last parting comments?
No, just thank you so much for everybody who's involved in boxing. In this country at the moment, it feels like we're one big team. We're rooting for each other. I mean, when the guys fight at the WBC tournament in Saudi Arabia, everybody's looking, everybody's backing each other. You'll see the guys, if they phone Peter Smith or phone Sean or Damien, everybody gets behind these people. And I think that's probably the future for our sport in this country. If we can get almost like what they do with the rugby, we get behind each other and really support each other, I think we can go to new heights.
I can't wait for that. Just saw the Springboks with a phenomenal result just over the weekend. Again, I just wanted to wish you all the best, and we'll see you guys soon with the win.
Thank you so much, Hayden. And I just want to give a big shout out to Damascus for everything they've been doing, especially with Mark Rapapaleali, the fight and stuff, and for my gym.